nutrition and just healthy living, we don't seem to do so well. And so today I want to talk about how you can be the boss of your transformation when it comes to health and fitness. What do you think about that?
Well, that's so true. I mean, so many times we're getting pulled in all these different directions between work, family, work is back and forth, and we never take time to do things for ourselves. So, what I like to say is the first thing you need to do is prioritize yourself. That's number
Put
one.
me at number one on the list.
You are number one. And you have to remember that, because if you don't feel that you're number one, guess what? You're going to be last on the list. And everyone comes to you because you're the number one person, because they need this. They need that at home. They need this at work. They need this out on the street because somebody got hit by a car and you're walking by. Can I use your phone to call 911? So we're always going to the bottom of the list, but you have to remember that you are number one. So number one has to take care of number one before they can take care of everyone else that's coming in all these different directions to them.
So, but as a doctor and a wife and, you know, a mother, and obviously you've got friends and family, what do you do with that little nagging? Because I will tell you, for my birthday, I was like, I'm going to do this whole self-care thing. Like, I'm going to do this whole day at the spa. And it's like half the time I was sitting there going, gosh, I could be doing something. You know, like I was thinking of all the things that I could be doing. And so you get this little nagging guilt thing going on.
No, but you can't. You have to learn how to relax. And a lot of us don't know how to relax and just enjoy and be, instead of going in all these different directions. So what I like to do is on Saturdays and Sundays, we have Fit Doc Walk in the Park. And there's some people that are like, oh my gosh, you got us out here with nature. But guess what?
With nature?
Yes. I mean, like on Saturday, we saw 3 frogs, and one of my friends, she was going all over the place. Oh my gosh, the frog is jumping all over me. But, you know, sometimes when we walk, you can see a fox, you can see a chipmunk, you can see cats, you can see squirrels, you can see some rats and some mice. But you know what? You have to appreciate nature because we're all beings. So,
well, and I was, you know what? I think that when you are out in nature, at least for me, because in Dallas, it's hard to enjoy nature like at this time of the year because it's so hot. But it's good, I think, for me spiritually and emotionally, and as well as physically. I mean, I think that I get some of my best plotting and planning done like when I'm walking in nature. And I guess, as you said, because we're all connected, that there is something that kind of fuels that spirituality.
That's right.
Well,
so when we were walking one time, one of the ladies had said, oh my goodness, she said, I've never walked in a park before. So I said, well,
I cannot.
I'm being serious.
I know you are, but I still cannot.
And I said, you know what, just look around as we're walking. Like, you see the trees, you see the leaves, you see the dirt, you see the animals scurrying around. This is letting you show an appreciation for life. These are all gifts to us. And just the quiet, because we're used to hearing the horns honking outside, because right now my office is very quiet, but normally if I was here during the day, I'd hear the horns honking because the trucks are wanting to hurry up and make that right-hand turn, and the car in front of them is going so slow. But we have to be able to slow down and appreciate everything that is around us. So when you're outside, you're calm, you're relaxed. So when you went to the spa, even though the spa was supposed to be a relaxing experience for you, it wasn't, because you're not used to just slowing down, and instead of being outside and connected in nature, this is you being inside and connecting with yourself and allowing yourself to enjoy an experience, because it's an experience to go to the spa. You are truly being pampered. Someone is putting their hands on you, and when somebody touches you, that helps to relax you. It slows down your heart rate for the most part when it's a loving touch. But you have to be able to appreciate that. And that's something that I would want you to truly work on. I mean, I know that if I'm feeling stressed, if I go outside or if I go to the beach and just sit by the water or walk on the boardwalk, that's a very calming experience for me. That's why wherever I live, I have to live by some water.
I said the same thing. It's like I'm in Dallas now, and it's like a desert. And I was like, the next time I move, so we're talking to the fit doc, Dr. Michele.
No, you just go a little earlier. And if you enjoy walking, that's what you need to do, is walk. If you like to ride your bike, ride your bike. If you rather exercise inside your house because you don't want to go to the gym and you don't want to bother getting dressed, do that. Exercise naked. I don't care. Find something that you enjoy doing and do it. And so that's the second thing. See what you enjoy.
But I guess my question is, and I get that. I honestly get that. And I think that I do try to go more with the flow now as opposed to what everybody says you should be doing to for it to really be impactful. But what if you have certain goals you want to achieve? So like maybe you need to lose 50 pounds. And so you really need to tone up and gain muscle. I mean, can you do that taking a walk?
Well, that's the next thing. If you have a goal of losing weight, what is your time span that you want to lose weight? So don't say
Tomorrow.
See, there you go. I was getting ready to say in 1 month. So it has to be a realistic goal. So if you want to say 50 pounds, you know you can't lose 50 pounds in 1 month. You can't lose it in 2 months. Maybe we should go over like 6 to 8 months, something that's realistic.
Yeah.
And then, okay, so if I want to lose this weight, how much time can I really dedicate to exercise? Because it says that research says 150 minutes of vigorous exercise. And we say vigorous exercise, that's the heart rate going up.
Right.
You a little breathless.
That's 150 minutes a day?
A week.
Oh, I was like, woo! Okay. Okay. Like that's 2.5 hours on the Stairmaster. My God. Okay. A week. Okay, good.
But you know what? But that's what you start doing. And if you say, you know what, I don't have 150 minutes a week to exercise, let's break it into a day.
Yeah, but seriously, who doesn't have 150 minutes in a week to exercise? I mean, that's 2.5 hours.
You should do a poll right now and see how many people exercise.
Well, but they don't because they don't. That doesn't mean there's not enough time.
No, but okay, ask them if they have enough time to exercise. Do people feel that they have enough time to exercise? Do you feel?
Okay, I'm going to ask the question, but then I'll prioritize it.
Well, we take the time or we make the time to do what we consider to be important.
Absolutely.
So it's important for us to go get our hair done. It's important for us to get our nails done. So we will dedicate that allotted time once a week, twice a month to get it done. So why can't we do the same thing for ourselves, for our insides? So our insides are feeling good.
Okay, so we do want to see your comments. So if you in the last month have said you don't have time to go to the gym, tell on yourself and just drop a thumbs up in the, now we should put a thumbs down in the, because we don't want to encourage that kind of behavior. So put a thumbs down emoji in the comments so we can kind of check on you guys and then we can figure out a plan. Because I mean, there are days when I don't work out, but I can never say it's because I don't have time. Because like you said, I mean, because you can have some really impactful workouts in a short amount of time. You just have to be very strategic about it, right?
You have to be very focused. So there's an app that I like to tell my patients about. It's a 7-minute workout. We all have 7 minutes.
Yes.
7 minutes. And even if you don't know what the routine is because you don't know how to do a push-up, you hit the little button, takes you straight to YouTube, shows you how to do a push-up, and then takes you back to the exercise. But more times than not, what people start to do, once they've done it one time for 7 minutes, they'll do it again. So that 7 minutes now becomes 14. And that 14 becomes 21. And then there's a beginner's one, then there's an intermediate, and there's an advanced one. So you're progressing as you're spending time doing this exercise. And more times than not, you can do it right there at your house. You could do it when you're at work.
Yeah.
So,
you know what? One of the things that I know that you say all the time, and I think this is like really true, that daily steps lead to change. Mm-hmm. It's like, I think we look at, like I said, like I don't need to lose 50 pounds, but if that was the goal, we look at the 50 pounds. We don't look at like the first two. Mm-hmm. And so it's like this overwhelming thing. And so for people who may not have been in a routine, I guess this 7-minute app or doing a short walk, or is that the best way to start?
It is. I mean, it's really the best way to start because in my book, Mentally Fit, Physically Strong, I say the first chapter is your starting line. Your starting line is the point that you are at right now. And that's the hardest step sometimes. People think it's me saying committed. No, it's me saying, you know what, I'm not happy where I am right now. I realize I want to do better. I want to feel better. So what is it that I have to do? I'm going to commit to doing it.
Yeah. I know. And it's like for me, because I'm like one of the most competitive people I know. So, it's bad. It's bad. My son and I went to the gym not too long ago and he was like, well, let's run. And I'm like, okay. And he was like, Mom, I was like, you either gonna stop before I do or I'm gonna die on this treadmill. Like, that's how bad it is.
So you were trying to be like Gabrielle and Dwayne with that commercial.
But you know, I'm in my 40s and he's 16. So let's do the math. So for me though, and so I guess one of my biggest challenges is if I feel like I can't do 120%, like I don't want to do anything. Like I don't want to go for a little walk and not break a sweat. Like I don't want to do any of that. And so it really though, I think is the realization that this is a lifestyle. Like, this is something you should be in, not just, and maybe, and you can correct me if I'm wrong. Do you encourage people to set like, you know, like I want to lose 50 pounds by my class reunion, or I want to do this? I mean, do you encourage people to set those kind of goals?
I encourage people to set goals because that's the first step, because you have to know what your plan is. So if your plan is you want to lose weight, let's put that as your goal. And the next thing is it something that is really measurable? Can we tell that you lost weight by looking at you, by putting you on the scale? And then the next thing, it has to be something that's achievable. So don't say, I'm going to lose the 50 pounds in 1 month. No, it has to be over a certain amount of time. And we have to be realistic.
Yeah.
I'm
getting better.
Keeping our goals.
I'm getting better.
But you know what you want. So these are the ways of you getting to your end point, your goal. And overall, we want you to be healthy. That's
right. And I was just getting ready to say that. I mean, I think that, you know, like in my 20s or whatever, it really was more about the way I looked. Like you wanted to fit those jeans, you wanted them to look a certain way. But I think now, and so I won't even weigh myself anymore, because I think now it's really more about how I feel, and doing the kinds of things, you know, that just make me feel better. So I definitely feel different, you know, if I'm working out regularly, whatever that looks like, as opposed to not doing anything at all.
But you know, for Nikki, for you, it's a combination of both. Because it's a combination of how you feel, but it's also how you look.
No, oh yeah, absolutely. Like, oh yeah, no, I don't want to feel great at like 200 pounds. Oh no, yeah, like, yeah, I'm still trying to stun on them, as my son would say. But it's not the primary thing. And before, in my 20s, where it was like, you know, 130 pounds to me was like, okay, that's what I should be. That was not what I should be.
Yeah.
And you know, and you kind of do things, I think, to manipulate the scale that may not always be, you know, like I wouldn't drink water a lot of the times, because, you know, the water adds the weight. And so obviously that's not healthy. Yeah. And so I think now, like I said, I don't weigh myself, but I certainly can tell, like if I've gained a pound or if I've lost. I mean, you can tell. I mean, you've lived with yourself for so long, you can tell. So yes, I want to stun on them, but I also want to feel good while I'm doing it. And I think that, though, for me is the priority now.
Yeah.
As opposed to
the combination of both. I mean, because in my practice, I have patients who are having heart attacks and strokes and getting diagnosed with pre-diabetes. We have some pre-diabetics who are 11 and 12 years old. So if we don't start to nip that in the bud, eventually those pre-diabetics prevent them from being a pre-diabetic. Let's prevent you from being 50 pounds overweight. What can we do to start early? And that's part of the reasons why we're having our second annual Fit Doc Retreat, October 3rd through the 6th, because Nikki's going to be there with us.
In Jamaica.
Right. And we are talking about be the boss of your transformation mentally, physically, spiritually, and sexually, because all of that ties over into who you are as your individual.
Did you say sexually?
Sexually.
I didn't know that was on the ticket.
Yes.
We're going to learn to be the boss of that too.
That's right. That's how you were born.
Lord Jesus.
And the beauty of it, we're going to have sessions. It's going to be for men and women.